Hey guys, Doug here. You might remember the GT. I got the 3-point finished up a little while ago. Got a winch cover on it, and I picked up some 2-inch square tube steel to make a adapter for the snowblower, and I actually have it sitting over here. This is the regular Craftsman snowblower. It's just a single stage, big barrel in there with the auger blades on it and stuff. But it had the stupid lift mechanism that connected to this thing, and it only lifted up maybe about an inch, and it weighed on the front of the tractor a lot, and it was stupid, and that's the entire reason why I got the 3-point. But I'm trying to figure out a way how to get this to mount onto the rear of the 3-point and hook it up, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a box type thing that comes off of here and then weld that square tube into that so I can just sleeve it in, pick it up and down, whatever. The one thing that I have to do though is figure out how to get power to it, and I was planning on getting an different auxiliary engine to put onto it, and I was thinking of picking up a 3 horsepower engine from Harbor Freight, which is still on the table, but I actually have an engine that I could actually use that is on something else. This is actually a 3/4 inch shaft that runs through a greasable tube that drives it, so I was thinking of maybe just putting the engine, making a mount for it right here down to a jack shaft right here that would run across, and then linking it with another sprocket there, just run on centrifugal clutch, and then have a manual hand throttle that can just, I don't know, maybe I'll stick a magnet or something on it, because you can get those 150-pound earth magnets or whatever for like $10 or something. It's really cheap. But back to the engine thing. This is what I'm planning on taking the engine from. This is the Minibike that I picked up from Mr. Modified. I don't think I did any videos on it, but I picked this up from him. I don't remember how long ago, but I picked it up for him, so I made a little hitch for the back of my car so I could take this upstate versus having to take the truck up if I want to bring the mower up just to ride around. So I bought this off of him, and I've been riding around for a little while. Has a Briggs 205cc flathead on it, and it runs great. Has I don't remember what kind of carburetor that is. He might offer some insight onto it, but I've always been thinking of maybe giving it a little bit more power. It does about 30 now. You can see I had the chain stuff off. It ran off a centrifugal clutch. I believe that's 12 teeth or something like that, or 15, whatever. But I did about 30 mile an hour. It's ungoverned. He took the governor off of it, and it's a really nice, snappy little toy. But it sucks up power, gasoline like crazy. I just barely put that tank on because I had a push mower tank on it before, and as you can see, I can't really mount a tank on it very well. I actually bought this tank with the mount, and I tried mounting it onto there, and the carburetor doesn't work, so I'd have to put a pump on it, and I don't feel like doing that. So I went to Harbor Freight a couple weeks ago, about the time that I picked up that V4 that I made a video on a little while ago. And here I picked up a Predator while I was out. It's the 212 6.5 horsepower thing. And you might notice that this linkage is hanging off, and that is because last night I took the governor off of it. I did the break-in period, and I took the governor off, and I also removed the oil sensor, the low oil sensor, because it's on a mini bike, and you can't really see it, but that stud right there has a 1/4 inch bolt sticking out of it, and this is a 7/16 inch bolt. When I had it open, I took that stuff out and I just threaded it real quick, stuck some blue RTV into the threads so that it could seal up so that no water or anything gets in, and I just stuck it, threw it back together, and it runs great. I have a air filter adapter coming on the way for it, so I can take this restrictive thing off, as well as a throttle kit, because this throttle here doesn't do anything now, because this spring here went back to the governor arm, and then this arm connected it together, so it doesn't do anything. But I found a kit for like $10 that makes it so that you can put a regular thumb throttle on it. And I will be making a new exhaust for it at some point, because it's quiet, but it's also bulky and kind of stupid. So that is the plan for this, basically. Here is the parts that I took off. This is the wheel for the governor, and these not magnets, but these little weight things fly out to the side, and it pushes this doohickey out, pushing on this that runs the governor. And I tried not to destroy anything, but I had to cut this off to get it out without having to take the engine apart. And this is the oil sensor. So with the mini bike, as you saw that clutch that I had there, I'm actually going to be upgrading it a little bit. And here are some parts. This is a Torque Converter 30 clone. It's just like the Comet version, and it's actually really well made. It's pretty heavy duty, and runs on 35 chain. It gave me the sprockets and stuff that I needed. And also picked up a chain tightener to tighten up the chain so I don't have to do it by hand. And I got new connecting links, offset links, and new length of chain, as well as a new muffler, because the muffler that's on there right now I actually took off the Craftsman. So that is going to be the plan. I hopefully will be working on it this weekend, and I get as much done as I can, just in terms of engine swap. The one, I just kind of mocked it up. The one problem that I see that I'm going to have is all this junk here. This is the tensioner from the old engine, not from this one. This is put on there, but that's the tensioner. That's going to get in the way, I think, as well as the support here for this rear fender. The jack shaft on that torque converter hits it. So I'm going to have to figure something out with that. Might weld the brace across and then something down just to hold it on there and keep it from wobbling, because I do need that rear fender, and obviously the chain guard's not going to work. So there's some stuff that needs to be done, but we'll see how well it all turns out, and hopefully this thing will hit. I'm kind of hoping for maybe 50. I know that's a long shot, but it does 30 now with that. So I'm gaining a couple horses and overhead valves, so it's going to be better on fuel and a little bit snappier on the response. And it's getting a torque converter, so it's going to go a lot better. So thanks for watching. I will talk to everybody later, and keep an eye out for some more future updates on this thing.